New rule: when former NFL quarterbacks get to the get off my lawn age, they should no longer be allowed to speak in public or have an opinion, since CTE prohibits their brains from evolving any further. Welcome back to Odd Man Sports. I'm your host, Brandon Perna. I'm also the host of That's Good Sports, so make sure you subscribe to both places. I'm also Aaron Rodgers' stand-in for all Packers-related photo shoots until the Rodgers stuff gets settled in Green Bay, or until Aaron Rodgers is put in prison for murdering Terry Bradshaw. On this week's Draft Spectacular, I'll look into my Magic 8 Ball and tell you which teams that think they got a QB didn't actually get a QB. And I'll also use the same Magic 8 Ball to predict which NFL reporter will have the biggest hangover at the 2022 NFL Draft in Las Vegas. Dinks and Dunks. Well, thank God for the NFL Draft, which gave us a break from the dog days of NBA flopping, not to mention a kooky MLB season. Is it me, or do these new rules feel like they were made up by a fourth grader? Starting in the 10th, all innings now start with a man on second, and pitchers have to pitch with their shoelaces tied together, and the infield fly rule now means everyone in the infield has to play with their fly down? I'm not gonna get too worked up though about baseball. The MLB is like your racist 75-year-old uncle. It's not worth getting upset about, something that will probably be gone in 10 years. Hopefully sooner. Isn't that right, Uncle Herbie? Now, in a normal year, we have the Academy Awards to help us through this slow period of the sports calendar. But with the Oscar ratings at an all-time low and NFL draft ratings at an all-time high, it proves that people care less about Mank than potentially seeing the next Logan Mankins. Personally speaking, this year's draft caused me to experience a roller coaster of emotions. From the sadness of my Broncos passing on a potential franchise QB in Justin Fields, to the joy of watching billionaire Jets owner Woody Johnson air his family's dirty laundry while talking to Zach Wilson.
How you doing? Congratulations. I think I probably know more about you than I know about my own kids.
Ooh, that felt a little too real. And on the same phone call to Wilson, I'm pretty sure Joe Douglas tried to get some phone sex going with the rookie QB.
When did you start playing football?
7 years old.
7 years old.
Oh, 7 years old. Wow. Looks like you haven't aged a day since then, huh, Zach? Well, Zachy, baby. But the highlight of the draft, at least if you're the Tempe Police Department, was capturing Arizona Cardinals first-round pick Zaven Collins on tape admitting to a potential felony.
You ready to roll?
Steve, we're gonna kill everyone. We're gonna kill everyone.
Are the Cardinals gonna kill anybody? And speaking of sins, I already can't wait for next year's draft, which the NFL announced will be in Las Vegas. One question for Roger Goodell. Is having a 3-day event in a town no one can last more than 48 hours a good idea? I'm picturing reporters from the draft on day 3. Thanks, Rich. Yes, the Browns apparently were impressed with their 6th round picks, 86-inch wingspan, which is approximately the number of Advil I've taken in the last 2 days, Rich. Next year, they're gonna have to use Goodell's chair as an IV station to keep these guys going. And finally, turning from football to football, this week, angry Manchester United fans took to the streets to protest the team's decision to enter the now defunct Super League, a move spurred on by the Glasser family, who also owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Greedy owners wanted to take this football club to a different direction, wanted to take it away from the fans. This is what football means to the fans, and we won't stop this until we get a football club back.
Oh really? The Brits don't like it when a group of foreigners across the pond make decisions that are financially beneficial to them but don't represent the interests of the people? Why does that sound familiar? Oh, right. This is exactly why we fought the American Revolution. Not so funny now that the shoe is on the other footy. Or as we call it here in America, soccer. Money talks! Now imagine what it must be like for elite college football players right before the draft, on the precipice of playing professionally. One step from achieving a 1 in a million lifelong dream of reaching the apex of your sport. Here's how Justin Fields summed it up on Twitter the night before the draft. Big things ahead, but whatever the future holds, I'm bringing wonderful pistachios, no shells on this journey. Hashtag wonderful pistachio partner. Okay, 3 things. First, I have enough spam in my Twitter feed because I follow Adam Schefter, who weirdly sometimes will tweet out ads to his 8 million followers. Second, part of the fun of pistachios is removing the shells to reveal that delicious nut inside. Do not take away my pistachio foreplay. It's the only foreplay I have in my life. And third, if anyone should be endorsing a company that improves a nut situation, it should be Trevor Lawrence's dad. Look at that bulge. In Justin Fields' defense, he actually eats these pistachios. At least he appears to, based on his draft night video. Fields also used his draft video to do his best Vanna White impression, while hawking C4 energy drinks, for whom he is now a spokesman. Also getting in on the draft night infomercial act was Colts' first-round pick, Kwity Paye, who immediately turned the moment he was drafted into a one-of-one NFT, which he promptly auctioned off to kickstart his foundation. That's right, if it's not bolted down, it's for sale. I wouldn't be surprised if next year these guys are bottling and selling their draft night farts. Now, I don't begrudge college athletes for wanting to finally make a buck after years of risking their health while playing for free. And as my wife can attest, I'm willing to shell out my family's hard-earned money on dumb football shit. But my only suggestion is this: sell me something I actually might want, as opposed to energy drinks and NFTs. These days, it's all about buying moments. So sell me the opportunity to be in the room when you're drafted, or come play quarterback for my flag football team, or let me watch you make love to my wife. Something that will last a lifetime in my mind. As fans, we want to feel closer to the athletes we follow. So all we ask in return is that you remove the barrier, the protective shell that separates us, and allow us the chance to enjoy direct access to your delicious nuts. Odd man out. Well, congratulations are in order to the teams who selected a quarterback in the first round. We all know how much it sucks rooting for a team without a good QB. And upon hearing these selections, all fan bases reacted like they just won the lottery. Which is appropriate because that's what selecting a quarterback in the first round is, a lottery, with the odds of winning 1 in 2, which are exactly the same odds of being an insanely hot bunchin' twin. And I hate to rain on anyone's parade, but 2 of these fan bases will look back at this exuberance 4 years from now and laugh at how naive they were thinking they'd finally found their man. The only question, which 2 will it be? From a cabin deep in the woods of somewhere cold, welcome back to episode 300 of Odd Man Sports. I'm your host, Brandon Perna. After losing my Manscaped sponsorship, this is what has become of me. Well, it happened. President McAfee just completed his first 100 days in office after his stunning election victory. It just goes to show you, it's easier to get a punter in the White House than a decent QB on the Jets. The Jets this week declined to exercise their fifth-year option on former number 2 overall pick Zachariah Wilson after he never led the team to better than a 6-11 record. Not to be outdone, the Bears are cutting ties with Justin Fields after 4 rocky seasons in Chicago, which the only thing he won was the OVP of the first NFL game that aired on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Jim McMahon's quote from 4 years ago continues to be true. Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die. Hopefully things work out better for your new QB, Arch Manning. Damn it! Even in my odd, weird future, my Broncos don't draft a good QB. Trevor Lawrence is very good, but the Jaguars still suck. He's essentially the Matthew Stafford of NFL QBs now. And congrats to Stafford for getting the Rams to the NFC Championship game, only to lose to the 3-time Super Bowl champions, the San Francisco 49ers, led of course by 3-time NFL MVP Trey Lance. Alright, that's it for this week. See you next week with a full report from my flag football game with Kyle Orton at QB. Long live the neckbeard.